Welcome, here I've got Motorola Edge 20 Lite and let me show you how to use the camera pro mode at this device. So let's start by tapping on camera button to open it, and for now we are on standard photo mode. So we have to change it by using the settings bar and just simply going to the right. Here we get access to more modes of this camera and one of them is the Pro, so let's pick it. Here we are. This mode gives us possibilities to choose some shooting parameters by ourselves. This is useful when we want to learn photographic skills or making experiments with photography. So let me start with this settings bar. Let's go from the right. The first one option here is the exposure compensation, so we can manage the light of our picture in kind of basic way. At the center, as you can see, we get access to the slider. We have 0 parameter. When we move to the right, we can make our picture more bright. When we move to the left, we can make it more dark, so this is how to use it. And to go back to auto exposure compensation, we have to slide to the center to 0 parameters. Now let's move to the next one option, the ISO. So we can manage the camera's sensitivity to light, and we can make it less sensitive from 100 on another slider and more sensitive by going to the right to 3 and 2000. So this is really wide spectrum, like this kind of camera. I think it's really pro. And to go back to auto ISO, we have to simply slide to the beginning to the left. Now let's move to the next one option, the shutter speed. So we can manage the time of taking picture and we can make it shorter. The shortest here is 1/6000 of a second, so it should be definitely better to objects, for example in move, when we want to frozen them at the picture with a good light. When we go to the right, we can go to the longest time, 32 seconds, and this should be better to objects that are stable, or if we want to blur some things at the picture. And of course we can easily go back to auto shutter speed by sliding to the left to the beginning of the slider. Here I want to show you one extra thing. When we adjust shutter speed and the ISO together, the exposure compensation button here from the right is locked, because these two parameters together are really advanced light managing, so we don't need this one. We have also short info that the exposure compensation can't be adjusted when we shutter speed and ISO are fixed, so remember about it. If you want to use this, you can learn how to manage the light by using these two parameters. And now let's move to the next one option, the white balance. So we can manage the temperature of our picture, and it depends from the light we have in the area where we take a photo. We can do it here in Kelvin degrees, so this is really advanced option, but we have the small icons above the slider that suggest us which light is good for which conditions we have when we want to adjust it. So we have the tungsten light, white fluorescent light, sunny light and the cloudy light. And as you can see, when I do it, we have the balance between the cold blue tones of our picture and the warm orange. So this is how to use it. And of course, when we slide to the beginning, we can easily go back to auto white balance. And the last one option on this settings bar here is the focusing. Now we are on autofocus, so we have AF. When we slide it, we can change it to MF from manual one. And as you can see, this is how to manually adjust focusing. And of course, when we go to the left, we can go back to autofocus. But I want to show you that also when we adjust all of these parameters manually and need to go back to auto, we don't have to separately move in each of the sliders to auto settings. We have extra button which appears here under this settings bar, and as you can see, above, just one tap and we can reset them and go back to auto settings. So this is really easy. Now let's move to this button. When we tap here, we can open more options about the camera we can manage. Most of them is also in standard photo mode, but in the Pro we have extra thing with format, so we can save our pictures not only in JPEG format, we can pick also the RAW or RAW plus JPEG. So the RAW format is used by professional photographers to saving more details at the pictures and post-producing them in graphic programs, and this is really pro option here. Now let's stay on JPEG. And let me take a photo by adjusting all of these parameters. To see it, we have to go to right to the button that follows us straight to the gallery, and of course it's not perfect. I suggest you to making experiments with all of the settings and just have a good fun. Thanks for watching, subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up.